Update 1.25 changes everything for tyre wear and tyre heat simulation. In this video, I'm going to go through exactly what the changes are, how it affects the way the car drives, and what this means for you. On the left hand side of your screen is exactly how it was in update 1.24. This was daily race C, and it was ×1 tyre wear, and during this I made a whole video about it. My tyres went off, I overheated the rear tyres, and the car became completely undrivable. On the right side of your screen is a recreation of exactly those same settings done in custom race mode, and I'm going to see exactly how things change. So one thing to note first of all is the tyres temperatures start at 70 degrees in custom race mode versus 60 degrees in sport mode. Now I think that is different for update 1.25. Since capturing this footage, I have actually done some sport mode races with tyre telemetry enabled, and I can confirm that sport mode you still start at 60 degree initial tyre temperature. So bear that 10 degree tyre temperature offset in mind as we're looking through the tyres. And as you can see already, the tyres seem much more reactive to heat than they are in update 1.24. Heat when you're loading the tyres, when you're on the brakes, when you're on the gas, when you're carving through the corners, really leaning on the tyres. You can see the tyres really start to peak to a high temperature and then just drop back off again to a more natural core temperature. This kind of reminded me a little bit of an F1 video I saw. It's onboard footage captured with an infrared camera, which really shows the core tyre temperature and how it just loads up as you use the tyres, as you lean on them, but as the heat just drops away. And I've got to say guys, I think this is pretty close. I'm liking the new tyre temperature model in Gran Turismo 7. You can see right now on the brakes into turn 1 with update 1.25, the tyres get really hot under brakes and then they just drop back off to a core temperature. Whereas update in 1.24, they just really seem to be quite static. Yes, on the brakes you can load the tyres when you're steering and braking at the same time, but look at the difference between the two left and right tyre temperature data. It's much more reactive in version 1.25. It's much more reactive with regard to instant peak temperatures, but actually it's also much more reactive in regard to dropping the temperatures off again. And already we're getting quite close to the same tyre temperatures for both updates, and we started 10 degrees lower in update 1.24. What is also apparent in update 1.25 is the difference between front and rear tyre temperatures is much closer, and that was one of the biggest problems with this Lamborghini Huracan that I'm using right now, is that the rear tyres would just overheat, the front tyres would never really overheat or cause any problems, and you'd just lose rear grip completely. But right now I'm feeling the balance between front and rear tyres in this Lamborghini is pretty damn good. Both cars are set up using BOP, both cars are using zero brake bias. I'm trying to replicate both of these tests as closely as I can, including the fuel usage, driving style as much as possible. So this was a fuel saving race, and even in the recreated race I was having to short shift and save fuel. So this is all good, the numbers are great, everyone loves looking at numbers, but what does it actually mean for the way the car drives? And right now, progressing on to lap number 6, and in update 1.24, this was around the point where I felt the car became undrivable. Over 96 degree tyre temperatures, the car was just undrivable. In update 1.25, the temperatures never really got as high as that, lap for lap. But even when you go above the 95 degrees, in update 1.25, it never really starts to lose grip. I think the window for operation for the tyres is much broader, and you can see right now we're working those outside tyres very often over 100 degrees, and we're not really suffering with any loss of grip. Looking at the replay on the left hand side of your screen, our rear tyres are over 96 degrees, and the car actually becomes undrivable, often losing the rear, often over-rotating on corner entry and having to catch the slides. But in update 1.25, this long into the run, I'm setting personal best sectors. The car feels great, it doesn't seem to have degraded. I feel really confident in the car. It still drives like the Lamborghini, it's still a bit wild like it always is, but the car feels completely drivable. Going through this difficult right-hander, I can go in there with confidence. In update 1.24 before, I would have to go in and just get ready to catch a slide, and as you can see on the left hand side of the screen, we are sliding the car now with barely able to control the car. Now, coming back to the things that changed in this update 1.25, also some of the default settings and geometries on the cars have changed, so maybe that is contributing factor to the way the tyres heat up, or maybe that's a contributing factor to the way the car drives, and it is an improvement for me. The way this Lamborghini drives is much better. I got to a full 10-lap race constantly hitting those 146s that I could never hit before with the Lamborghini previously. So what does this actually mean for you when you're racing in either daily races, sport mode, or even in single player, earning some credits? Now, what I think is the tyres are less sensitive to overheating. The window of operation for the tyres, I think, is anywhere from 70 or 75 degrees right up to 100 degrees or more. I think the tyres are still perfectly good in that window. Previously to update 1.25, above 95 degrees, the tyres just stopped working. They just weren't very good at all. I also think the tyres can be cooled down. I did another race that wasn't captured where I drove very aggressively, tried to really peak those tyre temperatures, and after a few laps of driving smooth again, I could lower the tyre temperatures by a couple of degrees. If you don't use the dashboard, or if you don't have access to this tyre temperature telemetry, then I think it's going to be less of a problem, because now the tyres don't need to be looked after in such close detail. You can just drive the car and most likely your tyre temperatures are going to be no problem at all. The mid-engine rear-wheel drive Lamborghini Huracan seems like a much better car to drive with this new tyre model, with the new tyre temperatures, and certainly with the small geometry improvements that they seem to have made. Again, a big step forward in my opinion. Going back to the clip I showed earlier on about the F1 infrared tyre temperature analysis, I think what we've got right now with the tyre temperature model is actually quite close to how that's looking. Let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested to hear your thoughts on this. How is the tyre wear and tyre temperature model looking in Gran Turismo 7 now? For me, I think it's getting pretty close. I'm quite excited to continue more with it. Tyre wear and tyre grip is also changed significantly. One Ball Leader Racing has a great video exploring tyre wear, tyre grip, and what effect that has on your lap times. Make sure you go over there and check that one out. Hopefully you found this video useful. Hopefully it's going to help you out to get faster in Gran Turismo 7. Huge thank you for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I have also enabled channel memberships. If you'd like to join as a channel member, that would be absolutely fantastic. It is completely voluntary. Think of it as a token gesture, tip, or donation to help support me making these videos. But honestly, the best thing you can do to help me support making these videos is to hit that like button and just watch more of the videos. I've got a bunch of great content that will hopefully make you faster in Gran Turismo 7. There'll be a link to one of those videos on screen right now. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.